Hi everybody, my name is Mike Robinson and I'm president of Permit Place. Welcome to the introduction to the Los Angeles Restaurant Liquor Licenses webinar. If you are looking to get your beer or wine license for your restaurant in the city of Los Angeles, then you've come to the right place. This is the presentation for you. We have helped thousands of companies get their permits and their liquor licenses throughout Los Angeles County and the country since we've been in business now since 2004. We can help you, and we hope that this information is a good introduction to you to help you learn on how to get your beer and wine license for your restaurant in the city of Los Angeles. And without further introduction, we will go from there. So the first question you need to ask is, why do I want to get a liquor license? A liquor license is going to cost money and time and effort, but there are some benefits that you can get for having a liquor license with your restaurant. Maybe you have a breakfast place and you don't need a liquor license, but maybe your breakfast place wants to serve champagne. If you want to serve champagne in your breakfast place, then you would need a liquor license from the state. Similarly with a lunch place or dinner place, there are many different places where you might want a liquor license so you can serve beer and wine or full alcohol. For the purposes of this webinar, we are really going to focus mainly on the beer and wine license, the Type 41 license from the state, where you can serve beer or wine with your restaurant. There are over 80 different liquor license types in California, and each of them have their own requirements and their own specifics that you need to follow. But all of them have two things in common. You need two types of permission. You need approval from the state of California and approval from your local city. With the city of Los Angeles, the process is very complicated and takes a long time. It's really now an average of between 12 and 18 months for you to obtain the required licenses for the city of Los Angeles. The cost is also large as well too, and they cover a wide variety of things, not just the application, but other items such as notification maps, radius maps, and other items you may need to get, like your site plan and floor plan. And finally, with liquor licenses, the applications can be complicated. They can be detailed, especially if you have a lot of partners or different family members that are all involved. And we're going to go through these as well and give you an idea of what you need to go through. The goal of this webinar is to introduce you to all those steps required to secure a Type 41 liquor license in the state of California. And we're going to provide you extra resources, such as an online course, to help you get your liquor license in the most cost-effective and time-intensive, or least time-intensive way possible. So liquor licenses in California are covered throughout the state with two types. The state ABC license, which is for the entire state of California, and in the city of Los Angeles, it's the Conditional Use Beverage license that you get from the City of Los Angeles Planning Department. The City of Los Angeles Planning Department governs the conditional use beverage through their zoning administrator and through their compliance condition unit process after you're granted it. And the state of California issues the Type 41 beer and wine license for your restaurant. That's done through the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, or ABC for short. We're going to start giving you some high-level overviews of what's involved with the conditional use beverage permit from the City of Los Angeles. What a conditional use beverage or a conditional use alcoholic beverage permit is it is a discretionary action that it requires planning approval from the zoning administrator in order or before alcohol can be sold to the public. It is a set of conditions, conditional use, that can be revoked if you fail to follow the terms of your conditional use permit or your conditional use beverage. They call that your conditions of approval. CUBs are assigned to specific locations. This means they can't be transferred if your restaurant moves. If you have a CUB in one location and you move that location, you have to apply for a new CUB or get one transferred to you. And we'll cover that in a little bit. Some of the factors that they consider before awarding a CUB is the city may review closely for an over-concentration of liquor licenses. That is a formula that they calculate when they take a look at the population and density, and it's settled on a county level. So if there's an over-concentration of liquor licenses relative to the population of LA County, they may consider that a cause for denial. Also, high crime rates. If you're in a high crime area, and that is high crime is concentrated is considered 20% above the normal rate, then that may be another area that you could that they may consider a factor in denying your CUB. Keep in mind, overconcentration of liquor licenses and high crime rates are not necessarily going to have the city deny your CUB, but they are big factors in how they look at that. You have to show a public necessity for this. Something you're bringing to the community that isn't your normal liquor store, but it's a benefit to your customers. It's what they come to expect when they come to your restaurant. So this next slide will cover whether or not goes back to that question of whether or not if you move, will you be able to take your CUB with you? But you can take your CUB with you, but does your new location that you've moved to have an existing CUB? If it does have an existing CUB, it may be possible that you can get that CUB transferred to you. All of the conditions of approval would come with that as well too, and you'd have to see if your CUB qualifies to be transferable. It may not be. But it may be, you may be able to take advantage of having an existing CUB in your location because it stays with the business, with the physical location of the business. Now, if it doesn't have a CUB, you will have to apply for a new one. And the way you do that in the city of Los Angeles is you apply for a master land use application. There is no CUB application. It is a master land use application covers a wide variety of entitlements and zoning approvals at the city of Los Angeles. So the CUB is part of the CUB application is the master land use application. And what you're going to be including in your application will be a project description, your name, your information, the actions that you're requesting. What are you requesting for? In this case, it would be a conditional use beverage for the right to sell alcohol at your restaurant. You'll have to include a radius map. That's an additional cost. There are radius map companies out there in the city of Los Angeles that specialize in this specific type of radius map. And then you'll have to supply a burden of proof that there is a public necessity for this use in the area that you are talking about. We'll go over that in a moment as well too. Some of the information to help your burden of proof is, of course, your project location, your address. Where is it located at? And the details that they want to know is they want to see both a site plan and a floor plan. The site plan will show the project location relative to surrounding properties, and the floor plan will show the seating, your hours of operation. You'll put square footage on there, and what type of alcohol are you going to be selling? We're going to go over this. This is for beer and wine for type 41. But if you're applying for another one, like a type 47, you may be selling liquor as well too. Some other information you want to put in your application would be previous and existing entitlements, such as a previous CUB on your property, any previous application documents that were included with that. Also, your whole project team's information, name, addresses, phone numbers, different people that are going to be a part of the organization, operational managers, other folks is that, who's going to be your manager that's going to be checking in with, and who is the contact person as well too. A lot of this information is available. You can see surrounding properties, zoning, what type of buildings are around, what street is it on. If you go to the city's website, zemis.lacity.org. ZEMA stands for the Zoning Information and Map Access System, and that covers things that you'll need for your application, such as an assessor's parcel number for your area. What's the site address? What is the tract map and block and lot number? Down lower into these areas, you can get copies of your existing entitlements or conditional use permits here, and you can also request more information as well too. After you get approval from your CUB, there's going to be ongoing compliance with your CUB. You're going to adhere to the MVIP program, which is the monitoring, verification and inspection program. And ongoing compliance is overseen by the City of LA's Department of Planning, their Conditional Compliance Union, the CCU. Those things, what they'll do is they will often come in and they will check your restaurant for compliance. If there are complaints about late night noise at your location, you might get a visit by the city CCU. CUB fees for the City of LA are expensive. Just the CUB application itself, including the pre-application meeting, review, and research, is $8,500. That's the city's cost for you to apply for it. So $8,500 for your beer and wine license for the CUB. Environmental exception is a requirement too. That's $500. And then a registered notification package through the BTC. That is $1,500 to $2,000. The BTC is the City of LA's contract planning mailing contractor. They will take your addresses from your radius map, and they will create the labels and send out the mailings to all of the local residents, telling them that an application for alcohol is being made at your location. So they'll take care of that. So that's a requirement as well too. So as you can see here, just all total here, we're talking $11,000 total for the CUB. Now that's just for the CUB at the City of LA. For the Type 41 liquor license at Cal ABC, that's another set of costs as well too. The liquor license that California ABC sends out is the state approval for you to sell alcohol to the public. They oversee and manage all liquor license approvals. The most common types of liquor license for restaurants are Type 41, which is mostly what this webinar is about. There is also a Type 47, which includes the sale of beer, wine, and liquor. Type 41 is specifically beer and wine only. So if you have a fast casual restaurant and you want to sell a couple beers or some wine with your fast casual concept, you would go for a Type 41. If you're thinking about selling liquor like whiskey or vodka or gin or any of those, you would look for a Type 47. These are much more expensive to get, and these need to be purchased on the open market through a broker. They are both called the on-sale eating place. So on-sale beer and wine. On-sale means that you consume the alcohol on site and don't take it out. An eating place is a term which has a definition. A bona fide eating place, it applies to restaurants that meet the following criteria: that they have a suitable kitchen that's equipped to serve ordinary meals, and a minimum of 51% of gross receipts has to be from food sales. You can't sell more liquor and then be qualified as a bona fide eating place. And that's important because if you're selling more liquor, you would actually be in violation of the terms of your CUB, and you would have a condition compliance unit call, and you'd have to explain why your liquor sales are higher. So you would also have to get a different type of liquor license as well too. So Type 41 bona fide eating place is the Type 41 on sale beer and wine eating place. And if you have 51% of your gross receipts from food sales, that's the proper one for you. The steps to getting that California liquor license and some resources for you in order to get that are on the next slides. The process to get a California state Type 41 beer and wine license is to complete the required applications. There are 14 that are provided by California ABC, and the type of application you fill out depends on the structure of your company. It's different for a sole proprietor than for an LLC, than for an S Corp, than for a C Corp, also for a partnership. So there are 4 main types of ownership and business type that you would apply for. So depending on what your business structure is, if you're a sole proprietor or if you're a LLC, you would apply for the Type 41 beer and wine license according to your business type. Now we have a resource for you that is our Type 41 application course. This is an online course that will walk you through step by step through completing all 14 of the forms regardless of your business structure. It's an online course. It tells you exactly what to fill out for each field. You can sign up for that course and take it, and you can then get a really great training. We have checklists and guidelines and a workbook that's available to you so that you can submit this yourself and you don't have to pay high fees to a consultant. The second step is to wait for a public response after your application has been filed. Once you file your application, the public has 30 days to protest it or to log a complaint against it. Sometimes they'll get through without any complaints, but the public does get 30 days. So once you file it, you got to wait 30 days to see if anybody has filed a complaint. During that time, the California ABC will launch an investigation into you, the licensee, what your business concept is, where did you get the money from it, what your backgrounds are. Are you married? Are you single? Are you divorced? And it will go and launch into an investigation of all of the applicants. If you have partners in your concern, they will want information on all the partners as well. And they get really, really specific and detailed on the level of scrutiny to the financial records as well, too. They want to know exactly where you got the money. Was it a gift? Was it a loan? Did you have it in savings? And also they're going to make you fingerprint as well, too. So be prepared for that investigation. It's kind of obtrusive, but we do have in our checklist a list of all of the things that they're going to ask you in our Type 41 course. If you received approval, no issues are uncovered, no additional docs are requested, then approvals are usually granted a minimum of 120, 150 days after the application has been deemed complete. So remember that 30 days you had to wait for the public comments, add another 150 to 120 days after that. So total, you might be looking at a total of 150 to 180 days. So we're talking 5 to 6 months for the state ABC license. Now they can be done in conjunction with each other. You can file for your state ABC license at at the same time you're filing for your CUB. If you file for your CUB first, that's better too, because part of your application will ask, have you filed your CUB yet? So you can start with your CUB, and then you can then do your state ABC, and then you should come out all at the same time if you time it out correctly. And we can go into that if you give us a call and consult with us. Okay, finally for the liquor license costs, for the Type 41 ABC license at the state level, it's $905 with an annual fee of $455. So there's an annual fee that goes along with this as well too. Every person that has to get fingerprinted is $63 a person. So if you have 5 partners, that's another $300. And any transfer fees, that varies. These costs are specific to the Type 41 beer and wine license, which is the most common one. Other license fees may vary for different types of licenses. So this comes to the end of our program, and we have a couple of free resources here for you and some really inexpensive ones. The free one is the Introductory Guide to California Liquor License here. If you go to permitplace.com and look up what California restaurant liquor license is right for you, it goes to a huge 5,000-page word guideline to help walk you through all those places. We also offer the California ABC Type 41 Beer and Wine Liquor License course. That's go to permitplace.com/abc-type41-41-forms and sign up for that. It's a really nominal cost. It will go through every single form for you, tell you exactly how to fill it out, and it's covered with videos, a checklist, and a workbook. It's a great deal. I help you get your state ABC going on your own. And then finally, the Conditional Use Alcoholic Beverage Permit Basic Course. This is for the City of Los Angeles. That's the CUB course that we offer. You can download the forms. You'll have a workbook, and you have a chance to have an expert to go with you through the entire process as well too. We've worked with hundreds of restaurants throughout the country and in Los Angeles to get your permits and the time that you need to save you time and money. So visit permitplace.com for more information or to schedule a consultation. Thanks for watching our webinar.